Hi there, good afternoon, it's Wycliffe Barrett here, and I've got a load of things to tell you. Saturday afternoon, the weather is a little bit like that, but I have got so much to tell you. A number of things, and what I'm going to talk about is why has Xplane Dedicated changed from Twitch to Hitbox, so that's number one. I'm then going to talk about Xplane 1030 Release Candidate 2. Going to talk about EFAS, the electronic flight assistant. There's been some problems though. I'm just going to kind of let you know what's going on with that. Also then we're going to talk about PMDG and Xplane 10 and their plans, and they've got some big plans which we need to see. Okay, and then after that talk about Aerosoft Dublin, Xplane Dedicated Design Group, and first amongst all of this is pinballs. Now if you don't know what these are, you probably can't get them outside the UK, but these are delicious and, well, they're gorgeous, so you got to buy some of these. Okay, first things first though, and that is Xplane Dedicated has moved over to Hitbox TV. I will try and put a link at the bottom of the film, but it's www.hitbox.tv/Xplane-Dedicated. Okay, that's the link. I'll put it in the bottom of the screen. And we've moved from Twitch TV. The reason we've moved is because of security and also quality. Quality wise, Twitch TV I think personally was going down a little bit and it was affecting the stream. So had a look at Hitbox, and the visual quality is far better. It's absolutely stunning. So after a bit of testing with other members of the team, I decided after discussions with them that we'd move over to Hitbox. Now this is going to cause some problems because we've got 300 plus viewers over on Twitch TV. Maybe some of them will see the banners that I put up, maybe they won't, and it's a little like starting all over again, but it's a lot better. And also we've got added security, because one of the big things about Twitch is trolls. Trolls come from anywhere and everywhere, and I will not tolerate them. I will not tolerate discriminatory language, racist language. I will not tolerate any kind of discriminatory behaviour whatsoever. I've got moderators and they're there and they will deal, and with Hitbox we've got added security which will really help. So that's the reasons. Better quality, both audio and visual, and security, and that's why we've moved over to Hitbox. So the link will be in the bottom. Okay, there are a couple of other things as well in relation to Twitch that I'm not happy with. As we know, Twitch was bought by Amazon, and it just seems as though since that buyout things have changed. Twitch TV shut down Justin TV, which was what started it all. They started doing the auto muting on films if there was any third-party content. So if there was a bit of music in there, third-party music, they would auto-mute it. Now that's not too bad, but one film I did which was about flight planning, I can't remember, to be quite honest, they auto-muted it, but they auto-muted half the film, which meant that it was useless. It was rendered totally useless. I just deleted it, and that was a real shame because a lot of people had asked for that particular content that day. So that's another reason why I decided to move. Anyway, enough of that. We're on Hitbox TV. You can find us. The link will be in the bottom. Over the last couple of days, Xplane 1030 Release Candidate 2 has come out, and for quite some time I've been talking about Xplane 1030 and saying, download it, get it, it's a beta, but it's a very stable beta. 1030 Release Candidate 2 is not that far from the release version. I really think this time that the release version will be maybe only a couple of days away, a week maybe at the very most. And in 1030, for those of you who have not got 1030 yet, the update is amazing. I mean, there is so much content in the update that I couldn't even begin to tell you everything. But the most important things are things like the Xplane gateway, airport gateway, so you can just find your airports whenever you want. You just type in the ICAO code or ICAO code, depending on where you live, and it'll come up with the airport for you. that's one, and there's over 700 extra airports with the download, so masses. That's one thing. Then there's the GNS 430 and 530 autopilots that you can put into any aircraft, and they're brilliant, far better than what was in there previously. I've used it, I've put it into one of my aircraft, superb. New art assets, clouds have been fixed, the default clouds have been fixed, draw distance has been altered, countless fixes, bug fixes, new enhancements, and my best suggestion is you go to Ben Supnick's blog. So just type in Ben, BEN SUPNIK, type that into Google and you'll find his blog. Have a look on there and you'll be able to find all the details of all the updates, and the updates are mammoth, they're absolutely huge, and on top of all of that you get increased frame rates. They've also sorted out the NVIDIA graphics, the AMD graphics card problems, so you know there's nothing to lose. It's a great update, and even though it's still beta, although it's the release candidate, get it. Alright, coming on to a kind of bit of a sadder note, and that is to do with EFAS, which is the electronic flight assistant that I use and other members of the Xplane dedicated team use. I was in right at the beginning when it was a free beta, so I was right at the beginning, and as soon as I was able to buy it, I put my money up front and I bought it. It's a great product, but because of some of the advances with Xplane through the 1030 development phase, it's caused a few problems with EFAS. Things like EFAS disconnecting from the sim, things like weather smoothing has been affected, and a couple of other minor things. And what you see on the EFAS forums is lots of people getting annoyed and not getting any kind of response. And the reason being is that the main developer has had some major surgery this summer. He's been in hospital quite unexpectedly and has had surgery, and it's about him getting himself better so that he can continue the fantastic work that he's already done with EFAS. So if you're an EFAS customer and you're wondering what's happened to your support, stop writing into the forum, stop badgering, stop writing in nasty stuff, because the main developer is he's been in hospital, he's getting better, and he will be back to full strength soon. Alright, so just bear with him. I mean, that's life. These things happen. Right, this is what we've all been waiting for. PMDG Xplane 10. An announcement was made last night. It was a bit bizarre in some areas, but basically what Robert Randazzo was saying is that within a very short period of time they're going to be producing products for 3 platforms and 3 operating systems across 2 platforms, whatever. So basically they're going to be producing stuff for Prepared, FSX and Xplane. We're interested in Xplane. It was a little bit sketchy around the Xplane stuff. He didn't actually say what product was going to be released first, but he did say that they're well in advance of their plans. They know that they've spent a couple of years teasing us, and he also recognises that he busted his 60-day promise on what it would be. I would say, give him another couple of months, to be honest. Give him another couple of months. It's no hardship, not to us who use Xplane. It's no hardship at all, because we've got some excellent aircraft. We've got Ramses, we've got FlyJSim, we've got Flight Factor. It's just there's a plethora of stuff coming out as well, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay. Last week, Aerosoft, they released Dublin Airport and EIDW. It's very, very good. But the initial release had no static aircraft on the airport, there was no ground clutter, and whilst the buildings looked great and the ground textures looked great, the airport felt a little bit dead. It looked almost like an airport in a post-apocalyptic world. And then I thought, well, I'm going to put some of my own static aircraft in, so I opened up WED and got my scenery development head off and started putting in aircraft. And the very next day, somebody, I can't remember his name, he came up with a Dublin expansion pack. Basically, it's a similar sort of thing. And so he's created this expansion pack, and you install that, and bang, you've got static aircraft, you've got ground clutter, and it begins to look like an airport. And then there is another third-party freeware developer who's been developing Dublin Airport for 12 months or more. He released a Dublin Airport mega expansion pack, which actually puts boats in harbours and buildings all over the place. So in a very short period of time, we've gone from a sterile post-apocalyptic airport to a bustling, plausible world. So my suggestion is, certainly get Dublin, buy it, it's a brilliant airport, and then make sure you get the other downloads. And then just two final things. One is that I've just released Birmingham, EGBB Birmingham, and I think it's one of the most complex airports I've ever done. But I released it in my name, but under the Xplane dedicated banner. And the reason being is that finally, after a couple of years, I've managed to put together a small design group, Xplane dedicated design group. That's it. There's only a few of us, and basically we're building freeware airports, but we're putting them under the badge of Xplane dedicated. They are free, and they will always be free as far as I'm concerned anyway. But we're homegrown talent, and it's looking good. So I've released Birmingham. Emma Kate Bentley has just released Manchester, and it looks as though we've got somebody to join us who's got a really good talent for creating ground traffic. I've tried to do it and I just can't get it to work. So rather than me struggling, and I have struggled for a few evenings trying to get it to work, I've found somebody who I think is going to join us, and so he will be doing the ground traffic. I've had a conversation with him, I've had a chat with the team, and it looks as though we're going to ask him to help us and do some work. So there you have it, an awful lot happening in the Xplane world. As always, my name is Wycliffe Barrett, and I'm going to see you soon. Bye bye.